that brings me to my next question I wanted to ask you about the idea of how much fun it is when you get to your retirement, that you get to finally start checking off the items that are on your bucket list. In fact, this even happens for multi-millionaires. Barbara Corcoran is a real estate mogul who you might know from her appearances on Shark Tank. She was actually asked what's at the top of her list.
If I could have one thing on my bucket list, I would have 3 solid hours a day to tend my garden here in Manhattan, my little pots. And I never have enough time. But you know what? I'm always on the verge. I'm going to get that time.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like my golf game.
The time, so I'm just talking. I'm not acting. If I really wanted, I'd be out there with my pots.
This proves that even for the multimillionaires, it's just about the little things, especially for this woman. She's worth $80 million, guys. Lots of us dream about taking all kinds of exciting vacations or buying that house on the beach. It's the idea of what I like to call play checks versus paychecks. And that, again, goes back to what we were talking about, the idea of the written plan in place. How do you help your clients not only put together the income plan, the paychecks, but also start checking off their bucket list items with those play checks?
Well, the first thing that you need to do is just segment out what your goals and your dreams are. Number one, have them, because if you have purpose, you can do a lot more than you think a lot of the time. But what we simply do in our plans is we line item everything out. So you have living expenses, but then you also have things like, hey, I want to spend $10,000 a year to travel, or in 5 years buy a new car. So you always see them as specific things line itemed, not one number jumbled together. Then you go back to having an income plan that says, okay, these are the different sources that I'm going to pull. And the dad going to your maximum spend report, hey, theoretically, how much more could I spend if I wanted to?
Hey, we bake an extra $10,000, $20,000 a year into the vast majority of plans for specific things like trips. We had a gentleman yesterday, I want a camper in 2 years and X.
Yep.
And then running all the analysis, then we show you. It's amazing when you see the look on people's faces when they sit back and realize that they can do those things instead of, I hope I can.
And it's not only you can do those things, it's you can do those things a lot of the times if the market goes.